Okay, this is just a little end of year recap epilogue type deal. We're just gonna go over the fights, knockouts, award kind of deal that we like the most and shit. Got seven
Yeah.
categories: male, female fighter of the year, fight of the year, knockout and sub of the year, and then event and comeback of the year. We're gonna go with the comeback first. So my boy had his picks up already.
Yeah. Comeback of the year, I got Mike Breeden versus Anshul Jubli. That shit was
Oh
hilarious.
my god.
Jubli was up 2-0, comfortably winning. It wasn't a hard fight or anything. And Mike Breeden comes out in the third and literally just starts barking at this
Barking at the
fool.
motherfucker.
Like he was the definition of I got that dog in me. He literally started barking and Jubilee just his brain exploded and then he got knocked out
Yeah.
like three
In
minutes
a
in.
in another lifetime, Mike Breeden was a metalcore vocalist, bro. With those
Y-
barks,
Yeah, it
my
was
god.
insane. Like watching it live was crazy. Like at first I was like, is he barking at him? Why is he? Oh my God, he's winning, and then he knocked him out. So that's my comeback of the year.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. I wanna say I was looking for a picture to use for this thumbnail because I just got like a temporary one up right now. I saw one that was talking about all the prospects from the best countries, and it was before 280, 284, 280, whatever the Abu Dhabi card was. And it was like, oh yeah, this up and coming Indian prospect. And I look at him like, oh yeah, he's the guy that got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he got barked
Anyways,
at.
yeah, my comeback. I have two because I couldn't really think of a solid one. My first one would have to be C.J. Vergara over that one Brazilian guy that I didn't
Oh
write
yeah,
the
yeah,
name
yeah.
down of, sadly enough. But yeah, it was I don't exactly remember the first round, but the second round he got the shit kicked out of him, got wheel kicked, got dropped a couple times. No, 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 that was round one. That's right. Yeah, he got 10-8'd in round one, and then the dude gassed and he took him to the ground and got the ground and pound to get the second round TKO comeback. My other sleeper pick for comeback was Elvis Brenner over
Oh
Guram
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kutateladze because Elvis Brenner getting pretty rocked at the end of the first round, got split open bad at the end or during the second round, and just turned his blonde mop into Ric Flair from 2004.
Yeah,
And then one punch in the third round just kind of sealed the fight for him, and it was damn God. That was a big win. That was a crazy finish. I didn't expect Guram to go down like that.
Elvis Brenner has been a motherfucker this year.
Indeed. Shout out to Shoot the Bucks.
Yeah. All right. Next up, next category, we got event of the year. I'm gonna assume me and my boy have the same pick, but due to extreme bias, I have UFC 290 International Fight Week because uh, I went there. We went there. It
Yes,
was
we did.
amazing. And not only that, it was a great fucking card. There was one boring fight and the rest were finishes. I think the entire like main card, no, not the main card, but like there was finishes and bangers the
Yeah,
entire time.
I'm certain that like almost every like for every section like early prelims, main card, like I'm pretty sure every other fight ended in a finish except for one from each bracket. You know.
Yeah, it was insane. There was probably only like an hour of fight time total the entire card. It
Sure as
was it
fuck
was
felt like that, dude. That
it was
was
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
great
we
night.
spent more time like getting up and going to the restroom than actually watching fights. It was amazing. So that's my event of the year.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna completely agree with that, considering the fact that that's the first UFC event we ever went to live. So that's kind of a
Yes.
special one. Got to see our boy Volk. We saw Robbie Lawler retire.
Perfect
We
retirement.
saw one of the better fights of the year with Brandon Moreno versus Alessandro Pantoja too. And God, a lot of bangers that fight. We got Hooker versus Turner. A lot of good shit on that card. Great quick knockouts. All everything. It had everything.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's
good,
a event of the year.
good shit.
Next
Yeah.
next category we got submission of the year. I couldn't really think of one, but the one that came to mind immediately was Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. That makes me very sad because Valentina's my wife. But yeah, I mean,
Allegedly.
allegedly, she doesn't know yet. You sub the greatest flyweight of all time. Uh, you're gonna get some style points. especially catching her how she did. She knew that Valentina likes to spin and throw spinning back kicks and stuff, and she caught her. She jumped on her right as she was spinning and hopped on her back, and it was a neck crank, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, capitalize
Uh,
that shit.
but yeah, she caught her with that, and that sealed the end of Valentina's title run
Yeah.
for probably ever. I mean, they did rematch, and it was kind of retarded, but yeah, that's my sub of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that it was a neck crank and she just kind of willed it out of Valentina, that is a little funny. But my sub of the year is gonna go to Davy Grant over the ghost of fuck, what's his name, Rafael Sunsao. It
Oh,
was
that's
that card where
right.
Marab ragdolled Peter Yan for 5 fucking rounds. But
Oh
this is on the
fuck.
prelims, right? And Sunsao, his usual, kind of slow the action down. I'm gonna grab you and hold you and make the fight boring kind of style. Davy Grant just comes out. Davy Grant, first of all, is a third round cash out god, man. That dude has had more third round stoppages than like any other round in his career, I'm pretty
More
sure.
than Yoel Romero.
Exactly, yeah. So this dude comes out and in like the dying, probably like last minute and a half, just hits massive spinning back fist and cracks the shit out of a Sun Sao, drops him down. And then I think he's like down on his knees, he's like getting up on his knees. David Grant like falls over him, so he's like kind of like in a way to somersaulting him, locks up a fucking reverse triangle and puts him to sleep.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, that was great, and it was also Sun Tzu's last fight, so good for the warrior in him to go out on his shield. But Jesus Christ, crazy submission. I think that's the first reverse triangle I'd ever seen like actually
Yeah,
happen live. But
yeah,
yeah, fun shit. I like Davy Grant. Sucks he got
yeah,
robbed in that other fight he had though.
yeah. Real. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's fucking crazy. Reverse triangles. You don't see those often.
Mm-mm.
All right. Next category, we got one of the big ones. We got KO of the year.
Oh baby,
Let's go for there was, Jesus Christ, there was so many
so much good,
brutal KOs this year.
vicious,
Oh my
out stiff
God.
knockouts.
It's like there's so many. It was so hard to choose, but
Yeah,
I think I had to settle on my boy, the God of War, Benoit
Benoit
Saint
Saint
Denis
Denis.
versus Matt Frivola, when he murdered this fool with a head kick. He caught him going all stiff arms like a T-Rex when he was backing out of the clinch, and just launched a head kick straight at him.
Fucking
Had him
murked
falling like
him.
a cartoon character,
Yeah,
and put him out on the ground.
split him
That's
open,
my KO of the
gave
year.
him a new scar. Yeah, there was a couple good head kicks this year. There's the Gaethje Poirier 2 head
Mm-hmm.
kick, which is like it's almost like the antithesis of Leon Edwards because it's like the same style and all that. Show the back straight and then the power kick. But Gaethje just kicks so ugly. It's like, oh my god, he made that work, and then he just falls down like a sack of fucking dirt.
Yeah.
So I got Gaethje over Poirier too, and then I also just got to go with Josh Emmett, absolutely
Oh
flatlining the
yeah.
fuck out of Bryce Mitchell. Like, goddamn, that's probably like top three like hands related knockouts. I don't know if I said that last podcast, but hands related knockouts. It's a top three one. One punch sleepers never get old. All
Yeah,
right,
that one was fucking crazy. That's the
that's
first time I think I've ever seen anyone have a fucking seizure
oh
after
yeah,
a knockout.
100%.
It was yeah, it was hard to not pick that one because of recency, but I had to go with my boy Chris Benoit. So yeah,
Yeah, shout out to Chris
but
Benoit. That
yeah,
was a
we
great
could
one.
go on a
There's
whole
so
fucking
many knockouts
a
this
whole
year, dude.
list of runner ups.
You got
Like
Bonfim and Terrence McKinney.
yeah,
You got
that was the
fucking
beginning of the year.
yeah. That was the start, dude. You got the other Elvis Brenner fight where he just fucking face planted the guy after like tapping him with his knuckle. It was a
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of good shit this year.
so many. Yeah. All right, moving on. We got female fighter of the year. And there was a few that I could have gone with, but I went again with Alexa Grasso, just because you beat the number one flyweight of all time 2 times in a row. I mean, the second one was a draw, but still, I mean, she fucking cracked the shit out of her in that second fight. She dropped Valentina hard, so
Ooh.
I gotta give it to Grasso. I could have given it to Zhang, even though she only fought once, but still, I I gotta go with Grasso.
Yeah, it was a tie between Grasso and Blanchfield for me, but I personally gave it to Grasso just for the legacy wise, taking out such a dominant champion in Shevchenko, and then the whole draw business. I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't there for that. I was on musical ventures, but yeah, I didn't rewatch it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna I'll say Grasso just over the fact that she won the gold. Blanchfield
Yeah,
is almost there, and it's gonna be a great fight between her and Grasso when it does happen. But
yeah,
yeah, just for the fact that you take out such a force in Shevchenko.
yeah. Male fighter of the year. I got Alex Pereira, and it was really hard to make that decision between him and Sean Strickland. Because Sean Strickland was the fucking man this year. Fought two dudes that were not even close to the title, and then beat the fuck out of the champion and won. And then he had a little minor W at the end of the year, 296. But he's not my pick, so I'm gonna stop talking about him. We got Alex Pereira as my male fighter of the year. Uh, Enters the year as a champ at 185, gets fucking murdered bad, like slept horribly, uh, and then comes back 3 months later, up a weight class in a number one contenders fight at like 7,000 feet elevation,
Against a
and
former
then
champion.
against the former champion who has that legendary Polish power, and then he fucking wins. And not only does he like win, but he wins pretty decisively. Like the first round was Jan holding him down, and then for the rest, like Jan fucking gassed immediately,
Yeah, it was like
which
that
was
one round,
surprising.
and that was it, bro.
Yeah, which was surprising because I was scared for Alex because his gas tank isn't that good. Especially you're adding 7,000 feet of elevation, but he looked way better than Jan did, like the whole fight. Got held down in the first and then just went to work and was piecing this foo up for the next two rounds. Got the dub, and then a few months later he fights the scariest man ever in Yuri Prohaska. And say what you want about the stoppage, but he fucking he beat the fuck out of that foo. It was no, it was pretty back and forth.
A little
In
back
the
and
first,
forth, but Alex
yeah,
Alex was definitely in the lead there, just with the leg kicks alone.
yeah, yeah, three leg kicks in, and Yuri was fucking walking like a baby horse. It was bad. And then he goes in there in the second round, and and hits this foo with a two piece ending, of course, with his patented left hook. Drops this foo, and then elbows the shit out of him, Travis Brown style, and becomes a two division champ. Not at the same time, but he's now been a champ in two divisions.
In the same
Two,
year.
exactly 2 years after he joined the UFC, dude only has like 11 fights, and he's now become double champ.
What the
And
fuck?
1 year after winning the middleweight belt, this Fu won the light heavyweight belt. So how do you not give this guy fighter of the year? He got knocked out in the beginning. Yeah, but like it don't matter. The dude he got knocked out by Adesanya, was he a double champ? Nah, he got beat the shit out of by Sean Strickland, and then he retired. So that's my male fighter of the year,
Yeah.
in Alex Pereira.
My fighter of the year is not Pereira, but a victim of his, and that is Sean Strickland. He was talking a little bit about him before, considering the fact that he fought two unranked guys. One of them was on short notice, and the other guy, everybody thought he was going to be a problem. He's a sub can, Abbas Magomedov sub can. I'm gonna say it. However,
Sucks.
the short notice rise to the occasion of fighting Israel Adesanya in his backyard, dropping him in the first round, and just completely like just running away with that entire fight. That says a lot, all right? Because nobody counted this man. Betters were like, oh yeah, I'll put a little bit of money on him just because a big underdog. But when those big underdogs hit, it's like, fuck, dude. Like, I really should have put some money on that shit.
Yeah.
Because Sean Strickland elevated his entire like just his whole like future is set at this point, you know, because he was gathering steam, you know, with the win streak and the big talks, and then Alex starches him last year, so he's coming into this, you know, and then he loses a, you know, bit of a weird decision to Cannonier, comes back, wins 2 straight in a row against unranked talent. You're just like, oh, okay, whatever. He's still in the top 10.
I think Imavov was ranked. Or no,
Was he?
yeah, it was Nasruddin Imavov, right?
It was Imavov, yeah.
I think he was ranked like 14 or
Yeah,
some shit.
somewhere in the lower 15. Okay, so a top 15 guy in an unranked can, you know, it's like, oh shit, Dragons Duplessis can't make it. Can't make it. We're just gonna have Strickland go in there, and you know, we'll say that's his title shot. And nobody knew, dude. Nobody knew.
They
The,
had no
the final
idea.
the final 30 seconds of that fifth round are like, that's some Rocky shit right there. Tell
Yeah,
you what,
they didn't believe.
strutting them down, talking all the shit, step up low kick to end it. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly. What a power shot.
I know, yeah. And it's just like, yeah, I gotta give it to Strickland. Yeah, you could say Pereira has a bigger the what's it called, the resume, especially with going from one champion to a second. But I think just again, it's the act of like taking out such a dominant force in the champion that's like, fuck, dude, he done it, he handled it, you know.
Yeah, even Alex couldn't beat Izzy like that, which is insane.
No, yeah, he couldn't really outpoint him. He finished him. Say what you want about either win ones. You know, I love to see a man get finished, but pause. But just beating somebody at their own game is just so much more like of a just a slap in the face to the guy who's supposed to be the specialist.
Yeah, Sean beat the shit out of Izzy with a 1-2 and a left teep. Like, come on.
Good shit.
Yeah, good shit.
All
And
right.
then finally, the one everyone's waiting for, the fight of the year, the big one, fight of the year. This is also biased, but I got Moreno versus Pantoja at UFC 290. Uh, there was not a second in this fight where these foos were not trying to kill each other. Like, there was not a single moment where I was not on the edge of my seat or standing and yelling, where there was no part where it was like, okay, I can take a breath. It was, no, they went to war from the fucking second it started. They were both landing on each other. Pantoja dropped him in the first, and then it was just chaos. And Moreno just kept cracking this foo, and Pantoja just is the definition of we eat those, and just kept coming forward. And it was a really, watching it live was insane because I wasn't scoring it. I was just watching in awe.
Yeah.
But after rewatching it, it was close, but I could see Pantoja winning 3-2 pretty decisively, even 4-1 if I do say so myself. But watching it live, it was just like, holy shit, who is gonna win this fight? It was insane. My boy bet on a draw for this fight.
Oh my
and
God.
At the beginning, I was like, man, get the fuck out of here. And then as the scorecards were being or about to be read, I was like, holy shit, my boy's about to win so much fucking money.
I know.
right now
I
from a
was
draw.
I was this close. You can't see it right now, but I'm holding my fingers as humanly close to each other as possible without touching them. I was this close to hitting that shit.
Yeah, it was insane. That's fight of the year for sure.
Yeah. Great fights. I unfortunately haven't had the time to rewatch that one, so I'm gonna pick a couple others that were great. Firstly, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Jeff Neal is just a back and forth. God, another one where they're just kicking the shit out of each other every other second. Like, Neal would land a nice combo that a couple would get through, and then Shavkat would just grab him and ram like 3 right hands and a knee and an elbow in, or just like, oh my god. And then the scare of all of us, like the clenched cheeks of watching us get see Shavkat get rocked in that third round. We're just like, ah, and then that little bit of
Yeah.
silence. Oh, dude, that's textbook of like, oh, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he rocks him in the third, and we're just like, oh shit. And then watching the fight, you're thinking like, okay, this might be the one that that Shavkat will take to a decision, and then he just grabs his neck in the last minute and ends it. And we're like, fuck, dude, that's how you do it. 17-0. He choked out
Standing
Wonder
rear
Boy
naked.
later that year, but yeah, standing rear naked choke, and that was a good one to watch on the TV because I could actually realize what's happening. This one I saw
Yeah.
in person. I couldn't exactly distinguish what was happening. I just knew it was good, and that's Dan Hooker versus Jalen Turner at UFC
Hell yeah,
290.
brother.
Oh my goodness gracious! What a fucking war! Lightweight always delivers. Dan Hooker kind of always alternating wins and losses, especially at this point in his career, and Jalen Turner just the long, scary, lanky striker. Like, oh shit, Turner might put this man out, and then he didn't put him out, right? So
Oh
good.
boy, howdy did he not.
Boy, howdy, nah. He
Oh,
got
fuck
super
yeah.
fucking close though, cause Dan Hooker just ate the head kick of all head kicks. Not exactly, cause we still got some great knockouts this year, but a nasty flush head kick, like along the jawline
He
and the
broke
back of his
fucking
head.
jaw.
Yeah, he broke his
broke
whole
his jaw.
face. Literally broke his face from how hard he kicked it, and he still didn't go out. That's the definition of warrior heart and spirit, all that bullshit. And then
Warrior.
and then after that, he started to come back in the third round. He dropped Turner in the third round. You're just like, oh my god, what the fuck? And yeah, great fight. I think the decision was right in the fact that it was a split because first round was pretty damn close. Second and third easy, clear cuts for either side, but first round did it good. Yeah, great win for Dan because that's just the classic fucking Dan Hooker style of getting in there and not giving a fuck what gets thrown your way and just doing everything you can to make it go your way.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, those are my two fights picks.
Yeah, great fucking fights. Uh, yeah, it's been a really good year. Hopefully 24 can live up, can surpass the expectations and the fucking violence that we got this year. And I think it will. I mean, UFC 300 is shaping up to be pretty fucking good.
Oh my goodness,
And
UFC 300.
yeah, the the fight announcements and the fight cards that we already have announced for like the first 4 months of the year are really good. So here's to hoping that UFC in 2024 is as banging, if not more, as this year.
Indeed. And here's to a full year of UFC coverage as well through this podcast.
Oh yes,
Because we
exactly.
started this
Not
shit
not
like
starting 3 months before the year ends.
yeah. But
But yeah,
other than that, I think that actually does it for the year. And
Yeah.
we'll be back with the salty run back of Alkali vs Walker 2.
yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.